Friends, a common discussion that ACC students often have is what is the right order in which you should appear for the various papers. Okay, and having asked a lot of students and experts around, I'm going to tell you what's the right order. वैसे the real answer is कोई right या wrong order नहीं होता है. If you look at the ACCA score structure, within each level, you can appear for the papers in any order that you like, right? So if you're in the knowledge level, you can do the 3 papers of the knowledge level in any order. Likewise, the 6 papers of the skills level in any order, and the last 4 papers of the professional level in any order. So the ACCA doesn't really, give you an order in which you should do the papers. But still, having said that, there are certain trends that are usually seen that have proven to be, if I may say, successful over time. Okay. Now, if you look at the knowledge level, usually, you've seen students will start with the first paper, which is business and technology, because it's like a warm-up and it sets the tone of the curriculum. And then students typically do the FA and the MA. FA, financial accounting, because most of the students have done an accounting paper in their schools or colleges. So, you have some bit of a background, and followed by MA, which is management accounting, which actually is the toughest of the 3 papers. So BT, FA, followed by MA is a good order, right? Like, again, I repeat, there's no right or wrong order, but this is just generally in trend. Now, when you look at the skills level, of course, after that, you should finish off law, because that's, again, a CBE exam. So you're done with all the CBE exams, and then you take up the session exams thereafter. Now, once you get to the session exams, usually we've seen that students prefer to give paper number 7, which is financial reporting, because that's the most comforting paper to do. That's because you've done paper 3, which is financial accounting, and financial reporting is the higher version of financial accounting. So, you've dealt with one of those kinds of papers in the knowledge level. So you can start your skills with financial reporting. Once you've done your financial reporting, it's best to take in auditing, which is paper 8 after that, because you see a lot of concepts you've done in financial reporting. It's the base for the auditor, isn't it? When you're auditing the accounts, a lot of auditing paper will have a lot of context to financial reporting. So FR and then audit paper 8 would be a good order. After that, you are free to choose between paper 9, which is financial management, paper number 5, which is performance management, and paper number 6, which is taxes. Now, I've usually seen students prefer to do paper 9, financial management, because that's again a number paper. So you've just done an audit paper, which is theory, so you can then take up a number paper, which is financial management. And then you have tax and you have performance management. Now, between both of those, tax, the curriculum is very, very huge. It takes many, many hours to do it, but it's more, if I may say, repetitive, right? So the tax examiner is not as creative as the examiner doing performance management. So, if you're doing the tax paper, if you've practiced well, the probability of the kind of questions coming in the paper is repetitive, right? So your chances of clearing it is quite high. Compared to that, performance management, which is paper 5, is smaller on curriculum, but it's a tricky one. Okay, it's a lot of out-of-box thinking. The performance management examiner is very creative, and that needs a lot of rigorous practice, a lot of dealing with unknown, dealing with cases. So my recommendation to students usually is do tax, okay, and then you do performance management, because even the pass rates of performance management, paper 5 is the least. So for some reason, if you get stuck up, it's still the last paper. You've at least finished all the other papers, right? So, so I said FR, audit, FM, tax, and then PM, okay? But again, I repeat, there is no right or wrong order. It's totally your comfort and your choice. But this is a general trend that we've observed. After having done the skills papers, while the ACCA says it's, they recommend you to do the EPSM, but we always tell students, just do it. You must finish the EPSM right after your skills, because all the concepts, the professional skills that you learn in EPSM sets the base for the papers in the professional level. So in the professional level, our recommendation to students is usually to first finish the compulsory papers, which is SBL and SBR. Now, you could do either of the two. SBR is, the higher version of FR. So if financial reporting is your strength, you could do SBR and, sort of taste the professional level with that paper, if that's your comfort. SBL is a completely new paper. So You could follow it up with SBL or either of the tools, okay? And then you have your optional papers, of course, which I recommend you do after the compulsory papers. Now, in the optional papers also, advanced FM, usually it's observed that most students opt for it because it's a very creative, very practical, very hands-on paper, and it helps you at your workplace, very instantly if you're in a finance job. And then you have advanced audits. So if you are in an auditing role, or if you decide to sort of make a career in auditing, definitely you should go for advanced audit. Advanced tax is UK taxes. Now, usually we've seen in India, unless you are into UK taxes, students generally don't opt for that paper, right? So if you are, of course, in a job or in a role which needs that kind of knowledge of UK taxation, then go for it, else you can skip it. Advanced PM is, again, it's a tricky one. It's a tough paper. It again calls for a lot of out-of-box thinking. So if again PM is your strength, only then go for APM. So AFM, APM and AAA, typically you should choose between one of the two. And take up tax only if, like I said, you have some requirement to study UK taxes in the future. So let's say if you're deciding to settle into the UK, or you decide to take up a job in UK, or you're working for a UK-based company that needs UK taxes, then you go for advanced tax. So that's usually the experience I've shared with you that most students and most experts recommend in terms of the order of the papers. But having said that, there are no hard and fast rules. Do what's most comfortable to you and what helps you progress very quickly and complete the qualification. Thank you.